10 weeks ago, I had my stomach cut more than half. And this week I decided to walk 10,000 steps every single day. This is Larry, by the way. He really wants his pets. I didn't tell my surgeon I was going to do this, so here's what happened. Can you say Larry? No, okay. Okay, so if you are new here, I'm Heather. This is Millie. This is Chewy. And I had gastric bypass surgery about 10 weeks ago. And honestly, I've been kind of doing just update modes. You know, this is week 1 and 2 and 3, and those videos have been amazing to make. But I realized something. I don't want this channel just to be a medical diary. I want it to be about actually becoming healthier and stronger, more confident. So this week, I decided to pivot a bit. No more just checking in. It's time to actually do something. And what better way to kick that off than the most intimidating challenge I could think of for someone who is still healing? 10,000 steps every single day for an entire week. Here's the thing with gastric bypass that nobody actually really even talks about. After surgery, you're very sedentary. You are doing some walking, but for the most part, you're pretty sedentary for weeks. And you're focused on, survival mode. Surviving the liquid diet, hitting your protein, not throwing up, avoiding cats or dogs jumping on your stomach, and moving is the last thing on your mind. But I'm 10 weeks out now. I'm eating real food. Well, soft food. But I'm, not liquids or purees, so that's great. And I'm feeling more like a human, which is something you definitely need to feel like. And I know that walking is one of the best things that I can do right now, not only for my health, but my metabolism and my mental health, and honestly, just proving myself that I can do it. So I set the goal. 10,000 steps every single day for 7 days. And I didn't tell my surgeon or my bariatric team. So day 1. I was pumped. I set my alarm, I put on my shoes, and I got to about 4,000 steps, and my body said, excuse me, who do you think you are? And I still had 6,000 steps to go. I finished them. Took me all day, but I finished. Day 2, I found my rhythm. Well, a little. I went for a morning walk. Just the neighborhood. And then I did the rest inside throughout the day. My feet hurt a little bit. My incision site didn't hurt. That's hard to say. My incision site didn't hurt at all. I was surprised. 'Cause anything I really did before, I felt a little bit of pulling, but nothing. Perfectly fine. Which really honestly shocked me. Day 3, I discovered the parking lot trick. So the parking lot trick, you just park at the very back and walk up. So no matter where you're going, whether it's the gym or Walmart or a grocery store, anywhere, you just park at the back. I mean, maybe Walmart, you don't park at the very, very back because that's a really long walk, but you get more steps doing that. And then also just pacing. So when I'm on the phone talking to somebody, just kind of pace back and forth while on the phone. Another way to just get some sneaky steps. So I became what I would call a professional step stuffer. Is that a good term? Comment below if that's a good term. Day 4 is kind of where things got a bit interesting and not in a good way. I woke up exhausted, not normal tired, like bone tired. Like my body was screaming at me and I had a decision to make. I could push through it or I could rest. And here's what I decided. So I went back to bed. But that evening, I went to the gym and I walked the treadmill and I did get my 10,000 steps. So even though I didn't get it outside, I didn't get it that morning, I did get it by the end of the day. I just needed that extra sleep. And not every day is going to go as you plan. Not every day is going to be perfect the way that you planned it out the day before. Day 5, and I genuinely felt good. Like something had clicked. I think my body finally accepted it and what we were going to do and just got on board. It's great. Day 6 was a crazy day. I had hit 10,000 steps before noon, which felt ridiculous. Like, who even am I? Like, before my day, like my full day before doing this challenge, a good day would have been a little over 2,000 steps. So this was crazy to me. Day 7, the last day. And to be honest, I did cry a little bit. Not because this challenge was hard, but because 3 months ago, I was on a pre-op liquid diet, terrified, not sure if I was making the right decision, not sure how this was going to go. And here I am, and it's week 10 post-op, and I just finished a challenge. And I would have probably laughed at this challenge prior to surgery, just because my knees hurt so much before, and I was tired all the time. I was irritable. So yeah, I cried a bit because, I felt like I finally accomplished something that I didn't think I could do before. Okay, so 7 days done. You want the results. I weighed myself before and after, and I tracked my energy levels, and one thing happened that generally I didn't expect. But first, let me tell you the thing that almost made me quit on day 4. Walking 10,000 steps when you're post-op is a completely different beast than walking 10,000 steps normally. I was more fatigued than I expected, and that is not a complaint. I know I'm going to get in the comments, all I need to do is complain. That is not a complaint. That is just post-surgical reality. Like, my body is still healing inside. Even when I look fine on the outside, the insides are still healing. And that's going to take a while. I also had to be really intentional about hydration. Post-gastric bypass, you're already drinking water constantly. But when you add activity on top of that, I felt like there were days that I definitely didn't, and I didn't stay ahead of it. I could feel it. Like, I got dizzy and foggy and tired. So 64 ounces just wasn't enough. I had to drink more than that. So a lot of drinking water. And honestly, some days getting 10,000 steps, living a normal life without intentionally going for walks, felt almost impossible. It made me realize how sedentary my regular day is, which was honestly the most uncomfortable truth of the whole challenge. Okay, result time. So let's start with energy. Energy, genuinely better by day 5. I slept harder. I felt more alert during the day. I don't know if that was the steps or the fresh air or just movement of my body, but most likely it was probably all 3. Now let's talk about weight. Drum roll, please. I lost an entire 0.8 pounds this week. So this has been the worst week for weight loss since I got my gastric bypass. I can't say I'm not disappointed. I definitely was. I thought walking 10,000 steps every day, I'm going to have the biggest loss ever. No. But I do know around this time, people have stalls that happen. So I'm sure next week I'll probably have a bigger drop, and this was just kind of like a stall week. Like, maybe I would have, it being a stall, I would have gained weight instead of losing weight. So it's still a loss. So I have to look at it like that. But yeah, definitely didn't help with the weight loss doing the 10,000 steps for me. 10 weeks post-op gastric bypass. But here's the result that I didn't expect. My confidence, something shifted. This week, I went from seeing myself as fragile and kind of like still recovering and weak to someone who does challenges. And honestly, that mental shift is worth more to me than the weight loss. So if you've got any good challenges that you think I should do next, make sure you're putting that down in the comments. So here's what I took away from this. 1, 10,000 steps is achievable, but do listen to your body. 2, movement changes your mindset faster than it changes your body. And 3, the hardest part isn't the steps, It's choosing to start when you're tired and when your body is healing and you'd rather just be sitting on the couch. That choice is the whole challenge. And 4, I'm done being weak. I'm a person who does hard things now. If you want to follow along as I keep doing challenges like this, like, stuff for real people, like someone post-op, gastric bypass, please hit subscribe. I post every week. And drop in the comments, could you do 10,000 steps every day? Or have you already done it? What was the hardest day? I want to know. So put that down in the comments. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves.